We're going to bring you to Sedona and to Phoenix, two of the most interesting places in the state of Arizona. We were visiting during the winter in the Christmas season. We'll show you some spectacular Christmas lighting and beautiful snowfalls out in the countryside. Downtown Phoenix and Scottsdale will be very interesting for you to see, and we'll go into the countryside, out into the cold wilderness. Sedona is one of the most beautiful spots on the planet. Cathedral Rock is a major highlight, and we're going to show you all of the highlights of this Sedona area and show you some lovely hotels where you can spend the night. Driving north from Phoenix, it only takes 2 hours to arrive in Sedona, and right away you realize that this is a special kind of place. Even in the simple residential neighborhoods, they have this stunning backdrop of Red Rock Mountains. It's really quite special, something that you find in northern Arizona, but especially here in Sedona. And as always, I will be your guide. This is Dennis Callan for the Hawaii Geographic Society in Sedona. We're in the northern part of Arizona, and behind me you see Cathedral Rock, one of the great landmarks of the Sedona area. There are lots of very easy hiking trails in the area and longer walks if you would prefer. You can find out all about it at the Chamber of Commerce. It's the Visitor Information Center. Their helpful staff can tell you all about accommodations and tours, restaurants, shops, everything in the area, lots of brochures, and we had a chance to talk with the head of it.
Hi, I'm Shar Beltran, the president of the Sedona Oak Creek Canyon Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about Sedona. We have a wonderful mystical place here. All the red rocks, which you'll see here around us. People come here to experience the red rocks, and today we seem to have a little bit of snow here. It's absolutely beautiful when it does snow, so it's a real treat for us. We have a couple of areas of distinction in Sedona. This is our Uptown area where we have the unique shops and more of the tourist center. And then there's West Sedona, which is our business center straight down the road, which we call 89A. And then if you go on 179, which is right at the stoplight down here, you'll find our Art and Cultural Center where the majority of our galleries are. So those are our three major areas in Sedona. There are two roads in and out. This road goes up through Oak Creek Canyon, and you raise in elevation as you take that road up to the canyon about 3,000 feet in 20 miles. It's an absolutely spectacular drive, and it's been named one of the 10 most scenic drives in America.
The Oak Creek Recreation Area is one of the most beautiful places you'll ever see. There's a state park, there's Slide Rock, which is real popular in the summertime. The Red Rock State Park has cabins you could stay at, and there are a few motels scattered through this area, but mostly it's just a great spot for a day trip out of Sedona. And you can park your car here and there and get out and walk around, have a look at Oak Creek itself. And there are some lovely hikes up in the side canyons. In particular, there's West Fork Canyon, a very popular spot. There's Thomas Point, and there's also Wilson Mountain.
And right behind us is Cathedral Rock. That's our signature rock. Most people see that in all of the photos and publications, and when you see it from different views, different angles, it just looks different each time you see it. Sedona is a very mystical place with a lot of spiritual influence. People will tell you that it's a Sedona thing, and it really is. There is something very special that goes on in Sedona and very spiritual. A lot of people are drawn to this area. It is said because the rocks have so much iron ore and it's very magnetic, and that magnetic power really influences people. And there's definitely something very special going on here. We have hundreds of small, unique shops. As you can see, we have a lot of Native American influence in Sedona, a lot of Native American artifacts and jewelry to be sold, and they're all very good quality. So I highly recommend that you check those out. We have about 100 shops in our Uptown area, and one of my favorites, of course, is just down that way in the Matterhorn shops, where you can purchase a real Native American flute. They'll give you lessons and send you off being able to actually play a tune on a Native American flute.
Brad, where are you gonna hold your flute? Hey?
I highly recommend you visit many of these shops. Of course, you can get a great Sedona shirt if you'd like one of those as well. Take something home for your friends. Tlaquepaque was fashioned after it's a shopping complex, very upscale galleries in there, and it was designed after a suburb of Guadalajara, Mexico, called Tlaquepaque, and ours is a miniature of that, complete with Calle Independencia and the whole thing. And in Tlaquepaque at Los Abrigados sponsors the Fantasy of Lights, which every year there's a contest and there are rules to it, and people come and put a Christmas light display together, and it's open to the public. And the weekend of Thanksgiving it opens, and that kind of kicks off our Christmas season. We have literally dozens and dozens of wonderful restaurants in Sedona, from fine dining to casual dining, those with entertainment. Everywhere the food is excellent. And I'm sure that you've experienced some of that. We have everything from seafood to beef to vegetarian, prices, all ranges, excellent dining. We have so many wonderful accommodations. Again, as I mentioned, we have the bed and breakfast experience, which we have about 23 bed and breakfasts in Sedona that are very high end. The Lodge at Sedona absolutely is a wonderful place as well. So, and I know you enjoy that too, and I highly recommend that one. We have Los Abrigados, which offers a wide variety of accommodations from a timeshare type of situation to an upscale lodge. There's the Hilton in the village of Oak Creek, which is very modern, very new, with a golf course. And then, of course, Enchantment, which you'll experience later, and everything in between, from the most affordable, which is most affordable in Sedona, is still a very upscale, very beautiful experience. We have the Sedona Real, which is an all-suites property in West Sedona that I have to tell you, I moved in there when I came to Sedona when I was looking for a house. Beautiful, beautiful place. So I don't think you can find a bad accommodation in Sedona. They're all wonderful. Yeah. The growth is very managed, and it's very well done because it's kept very clean, very appealing. We have about 30% of our population are second, third, and fourth homeowners who don't actually reside in Sedona, but come here to enjoy their homes, and those are the multi-million-dollar homes that are here. We have a lot of movie stars that own homes here, as I'm sure you've heard. And then about 20% of our population is retired, and they live here, and they become very community oriented, and they help us keep the community very nice. And about 50% of our community are working people like you and I. So, one of the things people like to do most here is hiking, and there are trails that offer every kind of hike, from the easy to the very, very intensive hiking experience. I enjoy hiking, have a lot of trails right behind my house, and some of them are pretty intense. You can climb right up into the Red Rocks there. Mountain biking, a lot of Jeep tours, of course. Oh, the Jeep tours are wonderful. We have several Jeep tour companies.
With the Jeep tour, you get to experience the beautiful wild countryside without wrecking your rented car. It's very handy, and also it saves you a major hike.
And scenic drives. A lot of spiritual retreats and spas, and we have some awesome golfing. You can imagine golf in this spectacular setting, so it is. There's a lot to do in Sedona.
And you'll find that one of the nicest and easiest things to do is just drive around. You'll be in your comfortable rental car, and the roads are really quite excellent here. There are some main highways, and Also, the little residential back streets will get you up to the foot of these mountains. You can just drive anywhere in Sedona. It's wide open country, and generally there's not a lot of traffic, especially when you're here in the off season as we are. And you get these amazing vistas just from your windshield. So keep in mind you want to spend a lot of time driving while you're in Sedona. And it will also bring you to some very interesting hiking trails. There are at least a dozen major trails that you can take a walk on. It can be a short walk or it could be a long walk. It's up to you. They have really good facilities. The trails are very well marked. And there are various guidebooks that you can purchase, of course, while you're there that tell you all about it. Here we're looking at Coffee Pot Rock. They've given names to all of the mountains around here. And this Coffee Pot Rock is up near Soldiers Pass Road. It's a very simple system. You park your car, there's a little parking lot. The trailhead begins and you just take a stroll. You can walk in for 10 minutes if that's all you want, or a half an hour, take your pick. The trail keeps on going. Midgley Bridge, just north of town, crosses Wilson Canyon. Here's another excellent hiking trail. You walk in for half a mile or a couple miles if you want to. Wilson Canyon offers a variety of scenic spectacles to enjoy. And then back in your car, there's easy parking at all of these landmark trailheads. And now we're heading over into the most spectacular, the most beautiful landmark in all of Sedona. It's Cathedral Rock. This is the icon of Sedona. It's the visual landmark that marks the place and tells you that you have arrived in some place very special. It's best seen in the late afternoon from Red Rock Crossing, which is a very convenient park. You can park your car, there's facilities there. And when you arrive, be sure to have a nice walk around and enjoy it from different angles, different vistas, one side of the stream and the other side of the stream, looking for that most photogenic angle. You could spend an hour here very easily walking along Oak Creek, enjoying Cathedral Rock at Red Rock Crossing. Another one of the most beautiful spots here is Boynton Canyon. So let's go take a hike. Of course, there is public access to the trail as well from Boynton Canyon Road, and there's some parking areas, so it's really quite convenient to use. And you'll see how worthwhile it is, how beautiful this broad canyon. Notice how sunny and warm we are at the beginning of the walk. Well, this was the most interesting weather day we ever had, because all of a sudden it got cooler, there was snow on the ground, and it got colder yet as we went further back in the canyon, and then it got quite cold, all within a span of a 1-hour walk. And slippery too. The snow had compacted down to ice with people walking on it, and we almost took a tumble there. So after a little bit more, we decided, well, let's check it out, turn around, and head back down from where we came. It was the most extreme weather conditions we'd ever experienced in a 2-hour walk, going from summer to fall to winter and back out in springtime and then summer again. What a drastic change of climate, all right up here in Boynton Canyon. The overall climate in the Sedona area is quite pleasant year-round. Here we are in the month of December. There's some snow on the ground, but the temperature is very comfortable. In town in the winter, generally it's in the 40s and 50s, even up into the 60s. And summer temperatures are moderated by the high altitude. We're at 4,500 foot elevation in the Sedona area. So this is definitely a year-round visitor destination area. Exiting from the Boynton Canyon Trail through the Enchantment Resort's private gate, we're back in our car and on the road, leaving Enchantment behind us now to see some more sights of Sedona. Driving through these beautiful roads is really one half of the pleasure of being here, and it's so easy just to enjoy the sights while you're driving around. And then we wanted to go back into the heart of what they call Uptown and have another look at some of the shops here. They've got about 150 stores in this part of Sedona. A lot of Native American crafts and typical souvenirs you can find. The pottery, the carvings, the gift shops with things that say Arizona or Sedona. T-shirts, of course, are always a big hit. And there's some real specialty shops here, and there's some hiking outfitters, of course. You can pick up your gear here. The Schmidt House has a nice selection, and there are art galleries. There are more than 40 art galleries in Little Sedona, and over 300 artists are making a living here in a whole variety of media, with paintings and sculpture and jewelry being the leading items for sale. And these shops are open into the evening, so after you've finished your daytime touring activities, come on over to Uptown Sedona and do a little shopping. Tlaquepaque is a major shopping center. It's just a half a mile south of the main intersection of town, and this place is really a lot of fun. It's like a Mexican village. It's an imitation of a suburb of Guadalajara, and they have got 40 shops here and a lot of cafes and restaurants and really fun architecture scattered over 5 different buildings. There's courtyards in that Spanish-Mexican style. And just behind Tlaquepaque is a major hotel called Los Abrigados. You can stay here for the night, or it's also a timeshare facility. Extended vacations are possible. And it's all part of this atmosphere of Tlaquepaque. There's a fine restaurant inside called Rene, and we really enjoyed a couple of meals here. So we're going to take you inside Rene and entertain you with some of the music of Vibas in a native style. Rene Restaurant is one of the top places in town. It features continental cuisine, and they're open for lunch as well as dinner. It's not all meat, though. This vegetarian dish, vegetarian Wellington, had a superb flavor the chef had infused into it. Now we're going to take you into a Red Rock Fantasy, it's called. This is an amazing light show that's put on just behind Tlaquepaque shopping area at Los Abrigados Resort. And it's an annual event. It features a major lighting competition. 50 different families are competing for the grand prize of a free timeshare for life at Los Abrigados. This competition has been going on for over 20 years now, and it's a fundraising activity for charities. You pay an admission to go inside, and you walk around and you look at 1 million lights. They even have The Simpsons and different sorts of themes. Each family spends quite a bit of time putting this together, and it's a lovely walking tour through the resort of Los Abrigados at the same time, especially at late twilight when you have some beautiful lighting and the lights themselves are glowing. We even have Elvis this year. The event goes on from November 22nd to January 4th every year at the holiday season. This was my personal favorite display, the sledding marshmallows. So each visitor is given a scorecard, and as you walk through, you can check off and rank your different favorite displays. And that's how the winner is determined, by this kind of a popular choice, public voting. It guarantees that every year the visitors' eyes will be dazzled by amazing displays. Coming up later in the program, we're bringing you to Phoenix and Scottsdale. So stay tuned. We'll have a couple of more minutes of this amazing light show here at Los Abrigados. Easy to find. It's right behind the Tlaquepaque shopping mall. And as we look at these electrical displays, let me share with you a little more information about Sedona provided by the Chamber of Commerce regarding one of the most interesting aspects of life at Sedona, the mystical spiritual experience. It is become world famous and synonymous with the mystical life. In Sedona, they have some vortexes. What is a vortex, you might wonder? Well, those who believe in it feel that a vortex is an energy field on the Earth's surface. Some of them are said to be electrical. And no, this display is not a vortex, but there are several supposed vortexes in the Sedona area that attract hundreds of thousands of the visitors. And these vortexes are believed to have either a energizing or a calming effect and stimulate the mental activity and spiritual awarenesses in those able to tap into it. Research has shown that Native American ancestors, though they didn't use the term vortex, but they have long been aware of them and called this earth energy sacred ground. The attraction of these vortexes is one way that some people strive to gain a better understanding of the planet's spiritual nature. A primary focus of many of the diverse spiritual movements today, and one of the many reasons those seeking growth and renewal find a welcome home in Sedona.